What's happening? Welcome to Skinny Black's Lounge. My name is Rob, aka Skinny Black. Also in the lounge to my left,
It's all right. Right, left, side to side. JT, period is silent. I'm on.
for sure. Hey, we got a couple of topics in here today, but before we do, like we always do about this time, suck shit.
Um, man, I was thinking
Oh,
as we come off of finishing February, shout out to Black History Month, also known as the month that as a collective of older black folks and elders, we realized that all our kids know is Martin Luther King and the current hip hop top 10. We move into March. And my family has this thing in March that we call March Madness, named after the basketball tournament. But March Madness is because there's so many birthdays in the month of March that every weekend, sometimes during the week, there's family get-togethers, there's a birthday party, you know.
hmm
So I mean, hey, listen, you know, we started March 1st with your birthday, you
represent.
know, and then 2 days later for the family,
My
it was my mom's birthday, you know. Um, where I thanked her for having makeup sex with my father and bringing me in.
appreciate that.
You know, yeah, I was like, "Good looking out, mom. I heard you made a good meal for him that night." You know,
Apparently, she
I
laid it all
celebrate.
out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She did. She did. And then we just had an uncle. I got aunts. I got my grandmother. I got friends of the family that are family. I'm at the end of the month, so March Madness is crazy, right? And
Mhm.
March for my family means March Madness, but for other people it means the basketball tournament. But there's another thing that goes on in March that means a lot to people,
Uh-oh.
and that's called spring break. See, I got a daughter in college. She's a freshman in college. And just every Monday, I send her motivational message or inspirational message or just a message from dad, right? I
That's right.
text her different things. And, I end it with the same thing, no matter what I type, you know, daddy loves you, right? So I sent the
Mhm.
message this morning, and the response I got was two lines. Good morning, daddy. I'm on my way to Florida with four exclamation marks. Cause she going to Miami for spring
Oh,
break,
oh, okay.
right?
All right.
And then I thought, man, like they tell you about being a parent, and they tell you about the beautiful things, and there are some beautiful things, man. I remember her being born, she's a preemie, she's in that tube, and it was stressful. She was 2 months early, and I remember her first walk and her first birthday. And
hmm
then I remember, man, like just her sitting on my lap. I remember the first time she told me she loved me. Man, when
Mm.
she told me she loved me, man, I was like, they could pull the teeth out my mouth with no Novocaine, and I would ask for more
Yep.
over this little girl.
Yes, sir.
I remember her hugs, them little hands around my neck, and then she got, just a hug on daddy's back. And as she gotten older, the hands have gotten bigger, and I realized she wasn't patting on my back. She was looking for the pin number
This is pickpocketing.
to break bread. Just like break bread, nigga, with love. But I was thinking about how to have a conversation with her that I've had before, but I don't talk to my daughter like I talk to my son. Because
Mm.
you have a conversation with your son, it's cool. Yeah, yeah, that same conversation with your daughter. Um, she gonna be laying on the leather couch telling white people your family secrets for 6 months. And so I don't want to go into a big background of it, but I know different worlds. I've walked in different worlds, and so for example, you know, uh, I'm from LA, and if you're from LA, you know these things, but you can relate if you're not. And I was telling you about this earlier. See, I know the Snooty Fox on Western.
Yeah.
Where for an extra $10 you get the room with the mirror,
Yeah.
and if you put 15 on it, you get fresh towels too. I also know the Dare You in Carson, where they only charge by the hour. Go up to the window and ask for a nightly rate. And they're gonna look at you like you talking quantum physics to a wino. What I'm trying to tell you is I know hoeing. That's all. But I was also raised in the church, man. I went to Primitive Baptist Church. And I know all the hymns to start off church that the deacons don't really sing no words, but they just be humming for 15 minutes. I know the
Uh-huh.
testimony.
Yeah.
I done heard Sister Johnson's hip click when she stand up to praise the Lord. You know, when you got to go visit sick and shut in, and everybody, old people house smell the same, like mothballs dumped in Vaseline, Vicks. This is me. What I'm saying is, I know the holy, and I told my son once. I said, "Don't be afraid or ashamed to be yourself, and don't make no excuses for who you are. And even if you're doing something, but you ain't got to lie about it, right?"
Right.
Because what I know is, I know where the places that the hoeing is going on, and I know where the places that the holiness is going on. And where the hoeing is going on, it ain't holy. And when the holy is going on, they ain't hoeing. What I'm describing is the battle within, sir, that I was having today between the dad that I am and the man that I
I like that.
am. Snoop said, "I don't love these hoes." And that's not true. Because if that was the truth, a lot of y'all wouldn't love your cousin, your sister,
Mm.
and some of y'all mamas.
Mm.
They might be holy now, but they was hoes before. And the man in me was
Yes.
wondering, was my daughter on the road to hoeing or just Miami? But the dad in me couldn't do it. And he remained hopeful. Because I just never seen a church service from Miami live from South Beach. We saving souls. Now, in the South, what they used to call it, you're Southern, they used to call it souls to the pole.
Yes, sir.
I brought souls to my pole, but that was something different. And I think that's what they doing on South Beach. JT versus JT. The battle within is on some sucker shit.
Oh man, that was a deep one, bro. Did not expect that one.
Hey dog, that was from a 2-line text.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was working, blah blah blah, because the time difference. And then I read that text, and then about 30, 45 seconds later, I felt a burning sensation in my chest.
That's what that was.
Yeah, because the dad in me is like, nah, I raised my daughter this, and that. But the man in me was like, nigga, the
Right.
battle. And
The
that's when the
battle.
battle started.
The battle. Oh man.
I'm just saying, man, Darth Vader was a Jedi.
That my brother. That was you. That was real talk. Darth Vader was a Jedi. Okay. Let's get this thing started, man. Because we can go deep with that battle within stuff. So let's see. So here's the question, man. We gonna just jump off on the deep end since you kind of got us there anyway. So here's the question. When's the last time somebody asked you how you were doing and actually waited for the answer?
Well, how I was what?
Right. When was the last
How
time
I was doing? Like what I was like.
you were doing and actually waited for the real answer?
Listen, man. This gonna be a short ass podcast with questions like this. There's been a less than a handful of people in my life. Let me back up. I missed a step. I have no shortage of people in my life who love me and care for me.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I have no doubt. But there's less than a handful, less than these 5 fingers on this right hand of mine, of people that genuinely care about how I'm doing. That number is 3.
Damn.
No, I'll take that back. I'll give 4. The spades, 3 in the possible.
You got to. Is it a strong possible?
Yeah, it's 3 in the possible. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going. Then you ain't taking me to Boston. So, and I don't. But here's the thing. I have a perspective on it that I don't hold that against people. I think that most people are so wrapped up in what they have going on that it's not intentional. Because like I said, I have no shortage of people who love me. And if news broke, like say, I ain't wishing this on me, but let's say I was in a terrible accident and I'm laid up, I know the outpouring of love will be there. But if you're asking me on a day-to-day basis, no, that's not my life. And I don't think that is the majority of men's lives. If you're asking specifically about the opposite sex, my sister genuinely cares about how I'm doing. And she will, out of the blue, just be like, brother, and she actually, because she genuinely cares, gets the honest answer from me.
Yeah. Oh, talk about that. I mean, the honest answer versus the other one.
What you mean? Like, that's like when you say what's up to somebody, you don't really care what's up. You just being cool. Like you say, hey, what's up, dog? Man, I'm 60 days down on the mortgage. Nigga, I didn't ask.
So Kim get the honest answer.
She gets the honest answer. I mean, most people, it's a formality. And just in the life I lead, there's a large population that are asking me that on the way to getting to what they really want. They need a favor, they need some help, they need this, they need that. So that's just a formality. You start before you say what you want to say in church, you got to stand up and say, first give an honor to God, who is the head of my life. Pastor, deacons, ushers, members and friends. You got to do that.
Got to do all the different stuff, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to do your preamble.
Well, how's that different for how to play out at work?
My job?
Yes.
Man, we don't care how you feel, but my job is performance based. Okay, so I'll go the opposite way this time, because since I started off this conversation about hoes and holy, I'll bring it all the way around. Let's say you watching a porno.
Okay.
And you be like, oh man, you know what? I know it wasn't good as usual, but he had a headache. Don't nobody care.
So
you a porn star, you gotta perform. Right? That's my job. You gotta perform. And so that's the task, right? We eat what we kill.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how it works. And so anything less than that, you're gonna have the same problems at the door waiting for you when you walk back out. Leave them at the door when you walk in.
That's right.
And it's showtime. It's no different than if you're performing on Broadway or if you're a singer. I mean, you watch all them behind the scenes, Hot True Story, and you see what was going on backstage. But the show was on.
Right.
And that's how that's my work environment. I actually like it because it gives me a level of focus. All jokes aside, I can lock in, and I'm a task oriented person. I'm a goal driven person, and I can do what I need to do and be what I need to be to drag, pull, encourage, berate my team across the finish line, whatever it is. And I have a different style, but my style's been effective in leadership for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a pat on the back or a kick in the ass, depending on what you need, or what the situation calls for.
Yeah, what the situation calls for. I always wondered, because you and I check in quite often about the job. It's fascinating to me. Your workplace, your work environment is mad fascinating to me. And you know what? I don't think. I mean, there's like one instance I can think of that you shared, but it doesn't seem to me like your boss would be like, "Hey man, you my guy. You make this thing run. Like, how are you today? Are you up? Are you ready?" Like, that don't even happen, huh? For the most part. Like, you don't care. Just it's show.
Well, it's not that. I won't say he doesn't care. I would say it doesn't matter.
And you trust that you're on.
No, whether I care or not, the mission is the mission. And so if you're on, well, if you feel good about being on, congratulations. If you feel bad, you still on. And it's showtime. Michael Jordan was praised because he performed in the NBA Finals while having the flu. Right? Imagine a world where they announce before the game, Michael Jordan will not be playing tonight because he's sick. Not his knee is blown out, not an Achilles. Michael Jordan has the flu. He won't play in the finals.
Don't know how well that would have went over back then.
There is a 8-letter term amongst black people.
Start with him?
No,
Oh,
Mm-mm.
that one.
That when you see something you're like this nigga,
Ah, that is that. Okay.
that would have been one of those moments. It's the finals and his ass can't play. We got the sniffles. I got the flu right now. I'm watching. As if that's the same as going up against Karl Malone and John Stockton. But whatever, you gotta perform. And I also tie it into my upbringing.
Mhm.
And I was raised on no excuses.
Yeah.
Get it done. And I've seen a lot of things in my family. And we a wild bunch sometimes.
Sometimes. Huh?
But what I have not seen, at least from my elders, the generations to come are a little different behind me. But what I haven't seen from my elders are any complaints.
Mm. Wow. That's a high bar. That's a high bar, man.
I don't. It's funny you say that because I don't look at it as high. I look at it as that's it. That's what it is.
Right. Yeah, trauma's like that.
See, that's what I'm saying. This is an ongoing thing, and people get to witness this up front. What he calls trauma, I call Tuesday.
Right, exactly.
And I shared a story with him before we got on live. Yeah. I guarantee if folks would have heard it, they'd have been, oh my God.
It was just another Saturday.
I sipped water and kept talking. And the only reason I thought of it in those terms, not the only, but a big reason, is because all these damn conversations with you. I wouldn't even been thinking like that. I was like, nigga, that's funny as hell.
Hey, these jokes write themselves. I know that's what you're
saying.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like when I said in the beginning, like, you know, people will listen and be like, he didn't really thank his mama for having makeup sex with his dad. Yes, I did. Cause my grandma told me that's what it was. Cause she helped her go shopping for the stuff to seduce my daddy. That's how I know. She told me. So on my birthday, as the planned child, I wanted to thank her.
That's dope. That's dope.
You know, ain't no use in lying about it. You did it.
Man, that's a high level of communication right there. Between generations, that's about 3 generations of sharing right there.
Okay. As a parent, your kids don't know what you see in them. And it's really not until they become parents, it's certain things that they get. Like, I didn't understand how much my mother loved me till I had my son. And then I was like, oh my God, right? Yeah. Is that how she feels about me?
I love
right?
That.
And that's the beautiful part of it. But there's another part of it. There's the part of it where you be looking at them like, damn, this motherfucker. Yeah. And then I thought, like, is that what my mama think about me? When she see me,
like this,
she's like, yeah, this thing just like his daddy.
8-letter turn, right?
Yeah, she's like, you just like your daddy. All right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, but can I get breakfast though?
Right. Hey, you said something about, you know, the hands and the feeling and the pin number piece, right? And so I wonder if there's an element of the check-in being a part connected to the providing. Meaning, if there's a point to where somebody ass and you ain't got it, now they work. Oh, it must be something going on.
Hey man, no. Listen, you giving Negroes way higher levels and more intentions than they got.
mm.
Ain't no nigga asked me for money to see how I was feeling.
Well, I'm just saying, no. I'm saying not to see how you're feeling, but if it's a no or it's a I ain't got it, now it's a something must be wrong.
No. Because if I say I ain't got it, they don't believe that I don't have it. They believe I don't have it for them.
This nigga lying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's you giving them way more credit. Like, who are these philosophical beggars that you coming across in your life?
Hold on, I love it. The philosophical.
You don't get an ass. Before I ask you for this $100, let me read you some Shakespeare. If you don't get your ass away from me.
Oh man, that's good. That's good.
I mean, you have so much hope for people.
I got to.
It's in the questions.
I got to, man. You know, it's got to be like that.
Man.
Go ahead.
No. Before you ask this next question that I'm gonna make fun of your ass about, in my mind, sometimes when people ask me for stuff, I think of the greats like Savion Glover, Gregory Hines. I'll be like, man, I want to put some tap shoes on this nigga, so at least I could be entertained. Sometimes I've said yes just because of the approach.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't pay you on like I'm gonna get it back. I paid you for the performance.
Just to see it.
Yeah.
Like Gator.
No, like I was going into a AMPM.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a brother. I hate to say this, but it was a brother. And I was working. He was like, "Hey man," I was like, "What's up? He's like, "Brother, I just want to get fucked up, man. Can you buy me a couple beers?" I was like, I think it was AP. It might have been a mini mart, whatever it was. So I was walking. I was like, yeah. I'll be right back out when I grabbed the 6-pack. I gave him a 6-pack.
Hey, you gave it 6 for being honest.
I gave him a 6-pack because like you know you don't have no future, and I know you don't, and I'm okay with it. Cause you didn't lie to me.
Man. Oh man. No, bro. Man, as we unpack this thing, right? On a longitudinal plane from this whole legacy of having to be unbreakable, right? Which is having to be something that we were, right? From slavery didn't allow black men to break down. Jim Crow didn't allow it. Hell, the corners didn't allow it. Corporate America don't allow it. So at what point does endurance become our identity instead of our womb?
Okay. Let me turn that question a little bit.
Okay.
Because you talk about breakdown. Instead of breakdown, let's call it being emotional or being expressive.
Okay.
Tell me the time, the place that you're aware of where being an expressive black man or an emotional black man, one more caveat, an emotional, straight black man has been rewarded.
Touche.
I have seen all of the, hey, you know, be more expressive, be this, be that. And I heard that, right? But I haven't seen the result of that.
Mm.
Okay. So at this point in my life, you know, I'm like, that's like Ike saying, I ain't gonna hit you no more. But his fist is balled up when he's saying it, dog. That nigga got the right cocked. And so that's how I hear that. I also know that because of my disposition and the way that I am, the request is for me to be more expressive and emotional, because that's not the place where I started. I get that request after you like me.
Mm.
But you wouldn't have liked me if I was that in the beginning.
Mm.
And this is just a little side street. You know, one of my quotes is, I'm too straight to be your gay friend.
You might have to unpack that for folks, because I think that went over.
That's that, you know, that you write 18 questions about that, that'll be another topic right there.
Okay, cool.
Because the opposite is true too. He might be too gay to be your straight friend.
That part. Yeah, man, you're on to something, man, because you know, this thing gets reinforced, and it starts from, you know, a kid, you know, falling, you know, it starts from a kid, you know, getting hurt. Young boys don't cry, you know, toughen up, you know what I mean? Then it goes to sports, you know, from, you know, we got to fight through it, whether it be, no matter what the sport is, you know, the first couple of weeks conditioning, you know, kind of, you know, you got to step up, right? Then at work, relationships, you know, all these places are like, you know, there is no safe space, right? And so, and that gets reinforced, taught, reinforced, taught, and reinforced again. So you're right. Good reflection on that.
I've been thinking about something. We don't have to like dig too deep into it, but I'm just gonna put it out there, because, you know, I like to put stuff out there, because then you'll come back later on down the line after you fleshed it out.
Mm-hmm.
But the concept of a safe space is bogus to me, because the only I and this is a theory. Okay, let me just preface what I'm saying is, I don't believe fully all of these things. I am leaning this way until I get more information.
Okay.
It's bogus to me because we don't have a history of being safe.
Mm.
We don't have, like, where are these safe spaces that people talk about?
Mm. Well,
And I'm not even on some,
do that.
I'm not on some racial black man stuff. I'm talking about the history of the world.
Right.
A violent and dangerous place.
Mm.
Ask Palestinians about a safe space.
Mm.
Ask the Iranians about a safe space. Want to go to the Congo and ask them about a safe space?
Mm.
They're like the concept of a quote unquote safe space is not something that's been afforded to the vast majority of the population for the history of the planet. That is a new age, modern concept born out of the safety of a few.
Mm.
I think that the reality on the ground and looking in the mirror and being true and being honest creates the dialogue, the discussion, whatever you want to call it, that place where you could be 100 with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're going to call that a safe space, then I believe in that.
Okay.
Not some nice room with some pillows where I can go suck my thumb.
No. I was thinking more so as I thought about it, the barbershops, the cigar lounges, the bars, or back in the day, which even you just clarified, so it wasn't like everybody, but it was a small number of cats at the bathhouses. But whatever that is. And so yeah, just a small gather. Hey, I think that's why the evolution of happy hour happened. Right? It's like, listen, that space between work and home, like, man, what's the decompression look like? What's the safe space to just like chill for a second and kind of work through, in some ways somatically, in other ways detrimentally, as we think about the alcohol piece, the problems of the day. And I'm just happy that we got a close knit, group of cats that, man, I feel fortunate. I feel fortunate to have you cats. The outline, that like the core of our line that we connect with, and then our extended cats. Man, I started talking to folks and asking around. That's rare, man.
No, you right. You was on your Maxwell, fortunate. No, but it's true. It's true to have a crew that can have conversations that, life hits and you can flush stuff out, and to be able to ask one simple question and get the honest feedback. And that question is, am I tripping?
That's a big one.
And the am I tripping question, you get the wrong answer and the wrong information,
yep,
and it will steer you down a course that's hard to come back from.
Yep.
Some folks have been told they haven't been tripping for so long, they so far removed that it's going to be real difficult to get them back. And the sad part about it is they've been tripping the whole time, right? But they've been surrounded by people who was tripping too. So instead of falling, they just held everybody up.
Wow.
You don't get up until you hit the ground, man. There's some folks that should have fell a long time ago.
Man. And I think the thing that with our the sons, like, what are conversations like these, the value of it, the value of, because I think there's a something that's off balance, because we are on one hand pushing them to be excellent and to put themselves in the best position to have success, and at the same time trying to temper what they may call safe spaces. And so I think that's a big challenge that we've discussed and we go through. What's your thoughts about that?
That's a generational divide. Had to exhale on that. I've offered different philosophies that I have to Modus, to my son. I have not forced them on him. I'm going to put it out there, and then I'm just going to let wisdom, time, and experience be their guide, or be his guide.
To his credit, he wants to be that version, a version of you that he sees and that he looks up to.
Yeah, he's got to do his own thing. But I did tell him, you know, the older you get, the smarter I'm going to get.
That part.
And that's not pumping myself up. I'm just telling them my own life experience.
Mm-hmm.
And this is part of the cycle. It's certain things that I know you're not going to listen to me in the moment, but I'm just putting it on the tape. You're going to have a playback moment later. You know, because couldn't nobody tell me shit either. And I understand it's in the DNA. Welcome to the bloodline. You know, but what I will say is, what I won't do is when he makes decisions where he truly ain't shit, that I'm not gonna be standing there and say, I'm gonna say it to him, hey man, you ain't shit for that. Because I don't want any gray area on certain things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's certain parts where lines have to be drawn. Right? Like I won't go too deep because, you know, his personal business, you know, I'll tell all kind of stories, but this is my life. I don't go into his. But there's a situation where he got into it. You know the story, but other people don't, so I'm gonna do it this way.
Mm-hmm.
He got into it with another one of our fraternity brothers, older than him, younger than us. And then out of respect for me, he was our fraternity brother called me and was like, hey man, you know, lucky he your son, or I would have did this, and this. I was like, you should have dog walked that nigga.
That was your exact quote.
I was like, I don't know why you talk about respecting me. If he big enough to throw hands, let him throw hands.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like he was in the street and you was gonna shoot him.
Right.
All he would have done was lost a fight.
Right.
Whoop his ass. I said, because if it was years ago and it was me and you, I would have tried to whoop your ass too. So that's all. And then me and you would have been cool after.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoop his ass. And they probably would be cool right now. And they still not, because nobody got their ass whooped. That's a life lesson to me.
Sure is.
And so, and then when I'm telling the story now, hell, if he mad at me, he mad at me. When my son called me, he was all pumped up. Dad, I would have tore his ass up. I said, you wouldn't did shit, nigga. I put you in private school. I said, you ain't never had to fight for nothing in your life.
Fight for the Pokemon card.
Yeah, I was like, man. I said, you don't even know the tail of the tape on this matchup.
Yeah, man. I think there's a certain balance that I think we're naturally seeking. Who wants to hold that? I mean, nobody wants to hold it. I think it's just a reality of society, reality of the situations, that we can compartmentalize like that out of safety, right? Out of our own mental, emotional safety. And so what I want to encourage folk is to continue to be innovative and creative on how, because this is what I talk about in the coaching. I'd say work-life balance is false. It doesn't exist, because you can't bifurcate yourself into two people and say, I'm this or I'm here, or I'm this when I'm here, I'm this when I'm here. You just have to be, the goal is to confidently be your authentic self no matter where you are. And at the point to where, something you said earlier, that you could, and I'll just expand on it, something you said earlier, that you could stand on your square no matter what room you're in, whether it be at work or whether it be at home or whether it be, out and about. That's the integration. That's the integration piece. That's the full, whole, authentic self piece. And I think that's the work and that's the goal. That people could, if they did that, they could operate better, mentally, emotionally in these different spaces, and not get so, hung up on where they are and trying to code switch and trying to wear that. Oh, I'm sorry, as we talked about last time, trying to take off that mask. Just how do you be your full, authentic, integrated self no matter where you are? Thoughts?
A couple things. You can't be truly driven and truly balanced at the same time.
I like that.
Um,
I like
so the idea of work-life balance is a cute idea, but it's not a realistic idea.
Right.
If somebody's driven work-wise,
Mm-hmm.
would we tell a mother who goes from full-time to part-time to be more of a stay-at-home mom to have a work-life balance?
Right. No.
We would call her a dedicated mother.
Right. Praise her for it and keep it pushing.
Right. And so I prefer, for my existence, and this is just mine, that the mission is what's important.
I like that.
What I deem my mission is, right? And if I'm on mission, I'm on balance. Because balance doesn't mean 50-50 to me, or there's a balance to me means on point.
Mm.
Right? So if I'm on point, I'm on balance. So my mission as a father, I'm on point, I'm on balance. I don't care what anybody thinks in the moment. I'll use my son again, and I've had some chest to chest conversations with him where we looked like we was arguing over balls and strikes, like the batter and the umpire.
Right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And if you saw that, folks would be like, oh, that's no way to say, that's no way to talk to him, that's no way to say this, that's no way to say that. Well, I'm also in a results driven business.
Mm-hmm.
Not a feel good business. And what I've never had was a conversation with my son with glass in between us and we was talking on the phone.
Good point.
We've had multiple celebrations of graduations, not returning home.
Right.
He's traveled the world. He's had a fantastic young life. And so I was out of balance, quote unquote, work-life balance the entire time that happened. But I was on point, no mission.
That's right. I like that.
So that's how I look at things. I also think that folks don't know the difference between good and bad advice. people that's giving you bad advice really in their heart of hearts thinking they're giving you good advice.
Mm.
And I hear the conversation about discernment, and most of the time I hear that about from either church folks or women after they made a whole bunch of bad choices. But as men, we don't talk about our power of discernment.
Mm. Mm.
And my power of discernment is about understanding how this applies to me, where this is coming from, reading people. You know, that's great advice for somebody else. You giving advice to yourself from 15 years ago.
Absolutely.
I'm not you.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's where discernment comes in for me. So I think that there are great folks doing great things, and God bless them. And you know, well, Jesus wept, but that ain't for me though.
Mm.
For me and mine, we over here, and this is what we're doing. And that doesn't mean that I'm not open to newer, better, greater, stronger, more productive, all of those things, ideas. However, I just don't accept everything.
Right.
You know, I ain't seen a nigga pull out a Diners Club card in a long time. It's not accepted. So you keep your damn Diners Club card over here. You know, we may take a Discover.
Maybe.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Hey man, hey, I think that's a good place. I wanna circle back and put a pin and unpack this last piece as the parting shot of no matter what the focus is being. It's all about being mission driven, right? The big picture, the vision, the destination, and even in the, you know, the next peak to conquer is the bottom of the next peak, right? So having vision of who you want to be, how you and where you are and how you want to close that gap. Many folks don't know how to close that gap. Many folks know they're just, you know, lying to themselves about how to close that gap, at least taking action in that first step. But staying mission driven, man, I think that's powerful, and I think that's a good place to end today. So parting shots, last words. How you want to lead us out?
Well, you know what? I'll quote my homeboy, Kenny Humphrey.
Kenny, oh man.
He told me one day, he said, a lot of folks think they leaders, but if ain't nobody following you, just a nigga out there taking a walk.
Bars.
And I met so many philosophical brothers. And you ain't got nobody behind you. You haven't affected no lives. You haven't changed anything.
Right.
And if this was hip hop, you still rapping like the Sugar Hill Gang, nigga. It was groundbreaking in '77, but now you just sound old. That's just a funny way of saying it. What I'm saying is, you need to build a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Things that stand the test of time. There are men that came before me that have established principles. My family, my mentors, and those principles lead to success far more often than they lead to failure.
Absolutely.
And stand on it. Stand on it.
Love it.
It's time tested and proven. Stand on it. No matter how fine she is, stand on it. No matter how much fun this is, stand on it. But that's the test.
It is.
You know, I close like this. I joked about my daughter hugging me, feeling for the pin number. But what if a grown woman was hugging on you, feeling for the curve in your vertebrae?
Boy. Oof. I like that. I like that. Get that right there. So big ups. Good job, Jay. Held it down once again. Big ups to Dio, who wasn't here tonight, but he made sure we got started, got the links. Big ups to the Ghost of Lebo. I think the Ghost is bouncing back from here to San Simeon today. That's a whole nother story. Big ups to Italian Twine. Hey, got the camouflage band on that one. Big ups to TGS, the Gathering Spot in Los Angeles. Big ups to the SBL crew and all who bless us with their presence, with their time, with their opinions, with their gifts and talents. Appreciate you, man. We out.
Yo.
Uh-oh. There you go.